Seth Rollins has just been defeated by Damian Priest due to the Judgment Day getting involved, along with him being distracted by too many he has lots of history with. But due to Priest being distracted with telling Balor that he didn't want his help, Jey Uso cashes in after becoming Mr. Money in the Bank earlier in the night to become World Heavyweight Champion. But Rollins doesn't see this as he limps to the back after the heartbreaking loss. He has nothing left. And on the Raw after Money in the Bank, we don't see or hear from Rollins until we see the man himself interrupt a segment between none other than Drew McIntyre and CM Punk as he strolls out and says, look at you two. You think I forgot about what you did last night? You two robbed me of becoming, well, something Drew couldn't do at Clash at the Castle. A two-time World Heavyweight Champion. And all thanks to you, Punk, the cancer of WWE. So allow me to reinsert myself into your lives once more. Oh, shut it, Rollins. This is my fight, not yours. Well, I actually have unfinished business with that pile of garbage as well, so why don't we make things a little bit more interesting? As long as Adam Pearce gives the green light, at SummerSlam, in the main event, myself versus Drew McIntyre versus Seth. McIntyre has snapped. He wipes out Punk and screams, "This is my match with you, Punk. I settled the score with Rollins. I have no more issues." Oi, Drew, when I told you I respected you all the way back at Mania, that doesn't mean I like you. And I still have my issues I want to stop out with you. So if Pearce says so, I'll be gladly added to the match. And Drew is irate. And he takes it out on Punk, but Rollins has seen enough. He shields Punk from a Claymore so then Punk can hit a GTS onto Drew, putting him to sleep. And Punk acknowledges the noble sacrifice, although he also nails a GTS onto Rollins and says, "I don't need shielding like Cody. I could do this by myself, unlike you who always needed help. Your entire debut was because of me, remember?" And with that, Punk leaves the corpses behind. But the following week, we hear from Rollins after the match has been officially made to be a triple threat, and he's backstage and he says, "Who do you think you are, Punk? You're no god. You're just a man born out of blood. And I'll drown you in it at SummerSlam. And Drew, you whiny piece of shit, I'll make sure you quit after our match for good. You got lucky at WrestleMania, and now that you're my sole focus alongside the other cancer of this company, you'll get stomped out like I did time and time again in the past. And unlike last time, I have an ace up my sleeve. I have options to ensure I stand victorious. And hey, Punk, you might know a thing or two about one of my insurance policies." Rollins has sent his message, but what are his insurance policies? Well, Punk has the same question, but before then we see Rollins backstage with Braun Breaker and Sheamus, although the cameras don't pick up the audio. However, later on in the show, Punk's in the ring and says, "So Rollins, you're bringing back the Shield, huh? Let's just say how it is instead of bouncing around the subject like it's Drew McIntyre trying to avoid the fact that he's a loser." And McIntyre immediately storms out and screams, "Every time I've lost is because of you interfering in my moment, Punk. Oh, save it. You can't stop thinking about me, you two-faced bitch." However, as soon as he says this, Rollins comes out from the crowd and enters the ring while saying, "Well, let's get back on topic now to your first line of your promo, Punk. And even if I were bringing back the Shield, maybe I don't need to." And Punk doesn't care. He tries to hit a GTS, but Rollins slips out, and with McIntyre watching on with glee, Rollins nails a stomp on a Punk and says, "I don't need a shield to put you down, Punk. I can do it all myself. And McIntyre, this is to you, as a promise. Unless you force me, my insurance policies won't be used on you. But don't force my hand. I wouldn't want you to burn in a blaze." It's an ominous warning by Rollins, and now speculation is running rampant on his insurance policy. Everyone is wondering what it is, which runs through the following week with Rollins giving more clues as to what his insurance policy is, as he says, "You know, when Punk came back, I always thought I need to bring my demons back to face him, to overcome his snarky, weaselly ways, and I was right. And them demons are my greatest allies. They're the reason I will win at SummerSlam, because if I don't, then I won't be good enough. Then the visionary isn't enough. I don't know what I'd do if that had happened, but good thing it will. Good thing it will. Look, Rollins, enough with the cryptic shit. Why don't you tell all of us right now what your demons or insurance policies or whatever the hell you want to call them are?" That'd spoil the fun now. So no, you can wait till SummerSlam to see my demons rise. And as soon as he says this, McIntyre nails a Claymore on a Punk, and he starts to make his way towards Rollins, but then he stops and says, "You know, Rollins, I did respect you until you tried to make me the third wheel. No more." And McIntyre darts into the ring, and the brawl is on. They fight and they won't separate from each other. Rollins even nails a super kick which puts McIntyre onto the announcer's table. And Rollins takes the opportunity to send a message. He puts McIntyre through the table, and before he leaves, he says one very peculiar thing. Doomsday's counting down, boys. And when our match is on, my insurance policy will make you suffer. And with another ominous warning from Rollins, he leaves. And it's time for the go-home show before SummerSlam, and Adam Pearce has ordered a no-contact restraint ahead of the humongous main event between Rollins, Punk and McIntyre. But that doesn't shut them up, as when McIntyre is scolding both men, here comes Rollins, and he doesn't say anything, all he does is laugh, and McIntyre is confused as he says, "What's funny, Seth, is your cryptic bullshit that sounds like a man losing his mind. Are you losing your mind, Seth?" I thought so. Good luck, Seth. You're a wild card, I'll give you that. But in Uno terms, I guess I'm a +4. And Punk sneaks into the ring to confront McIntyre, who laughs with Rollins as Punk says, "Look at you two laughing away. Great stand-up comedy. I suppose the true joke is the fact that Seth Rollins is never the guy, as there's always a bigger star than you. Just ask your wife." "Oh wait, you can't. She's currently sitting at home looking after your kid. The kid you barely see because of this. You're a shit dad, Seth." And Rollins' laugh stops dead in his tracks. He seems irate at that statement, but then McIntyre says, "He's got a point, Seth. You're abandoning your kid for this. To insert yourself into my life and Punk's. Because let's face reality, you'd rather be here than at home, wouldn't you?" And Rollins stands on the ramp with all the fury burning in his body. He calmly says, "Good luck for Saturday, boys. Because after the match, you'll wish you stayed home." And Rollins unbelievably walks away, and his impact within this story is only felt at the climax. It's time for the main event of the biggest party of the summer. It's Seth Rollins, it's Drew McIntyre, it's CM Punk. And the match is on, and it's in contention for being one of the most physical matches of the year. And they hit everything at each other. Punk hits a GDS onto Rollins, but McIntyre breaks up the pin, and the war rages on all over ringside between the pair. But then Punk nails a kick onto McIntyre, who's in a precarious position, and Punk nails a dive onto McIntyre, wiping each other out. And Rollins has an opportunity. He puts McIntyre into the ring, and then he calls for someone, or something. And unbelievably, one of Rollins' contingency plans arrives. Becky comes out of the table, but that's not all, she sets it on fire. McIntyre is done, but then Punk isn't. He darts towards Seth and throws him into the ring. Are we going to see Punk pick up the win? Well, he's lining up Rollins to make him go to sleep, but then... Seth's insurance policies have all arrived. He truly has reformed the Shield, but better, as rather than it be all about brotherhood, it's all about family. Because if you like this video, I think this might interest you.